Hi everyone, thank you so much for clicking on my channel. It is another week of Foundation Friday, and this week I have for you the Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation. I've heard a lot of really good things about this, so I'm super excited to try this out. Let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. So the packaging itself is a tube dispenser. It has a really cute like wood kind of a cap. And the little leaf right here and this little cutout actually shows you the color of foundation that you have, which I really like that. It has a seal over the cap that you just lift off. It comes with 1.7 fluid ounces of foundation, so that is a lot. And it retails for $39. I have the shade Fairly Light Beige. On Sephora.com I can see that they have 25 colors to choose from, but the deep color range doesn't have a lot of options. So let's look at what this foundation claims to do. So what it is a long-lasting foundation powered by Amazonian clay that imparts a matte finish. Get 12 hours of flawless coverage with this long-wearing, skin-perfecting formula with SPF 15. Its full coverage and supremely blendable and buildable formula has a weightless texture and is available in a broad range of shades. So whether your skin is oily, dry, or combination, the Skin Smart Amazonian Clay will intuitively adjust to meet and address your skin concerns for makeup that wears better, longer, and truer. This revolutionary foundation reduces the appearance of pores, discolorations, and imperfections and ensures a perfectly flawless complexion every time. This product is vegan and hypoallergenic. So it's supposed to be long wearing, full coverage, and weightless. How to use: dispense a dime size amount of foundation to the back of your hand, and then use a brush, sweep onto the skin in light circular motions, starting at the center of the face and blending outward. I've already washed, moisturized, and primed my face. I did my Magic Lumi primer on the right side of my face and my Matte Rescue primer on the left side of my face. I just kind of want to see how this foundation wears with more of an illuminating primer versus more of a mattifying primer. The finish of this foundation is matte, so sometimes I like to use an illuminating primer with my matte foundations just so it gives a little life to my skin. Sometimes a mattifying primer and a matte foundation can look a little dry and dead, so I just kind of wanted to compare to see which primer I would like better with this foundation. I'm also going to apply the foundation with a sponge on this side of my face and a brush on this side. So let's get started. I'm going to use a dime size amount, just like they suggest. Kind of dime-ish. It's kind of a moussey texture. It's not moving on the back of my hand at all. It's staying put. It's kind of thicker. So I'm guessing this amount is supposed to be for the whole face. We shall see. I'm going to do the sponge side first here. So far, so good. It did say that it was buildable coverage, so I might try and build it up. This isn't looking very full coverage to me right now. It's more of a medium coverage, but it's sitting on my skin really nice. I'm just going to use my Morphe M439 on this side of my face. I do think that the color match is spot on for me. I am recovering a little bit from a sunburn, so my nose is peeling just a little bit, so I'm gonna kind of just have to keep that in mind today because I can already see that the foundation is kind of clinging to the areas that are peeling off, which is to be expected. I think I got a little bit more coverage on the brush side, but I like the way that it is sitting on my skin a little bit better with the sponge. So I'm just gonna go over top of the brush side with my sponge just to kind of work the product into my skin a little bit better. I used almost all of that product that I put on the back of my hand. I do just have a little bit left here. So I'm going to go over some spots that I think need a little bit more coverage and kind of test the blendability. It is blending on top of itself nicely. It's not like removing any coverage or anything. All in all though, I still wouldn't call this full coverage. It's definitely like a high medium coverage, but I can still see some freckles coming through. Probably once I go in with concealer, I will get more coverage. I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit so you can just see how it's laying on my skin right after I immediately put it on. So you can see it does have like a very lightweight airbrushed kind of a texture to it. You can still see some of my blemishes poking through and some of my freckles as well. But the finish of it is really pretty. It is very lightweight. It's drying down, but it doesn't feel dry. And I think it has smoothed out the texture of my skin. It's minimized the appearance of my pores. It's currently 9:32. I'm gonna jump off camera and do the rest of my makeup, and I'll be right back. It is now 10:25, so this foundation has been on for an hour, and everything is still looking really good. It isn't settling into any of my fine lines. My pores look very minimized. Everything looks very soft. All of my other makeup blended perfectly over top of this, no issues. So far, I am loving the way that this foundation is looking. So I will check in with you guys in a few hours in natural daylight so you can see what it looks like in that lighting, and I will see you guys in a little bit. It is now 2:20, so this foundation has been on for almost 5 hours, and I still think that it is looking pretty good. It has settled into my smile lines and a little bit into my lines above my brow, but I still think that everything is looking really smooth. It feels very lightweight. It looks very fresh and skin-like. It's not looking heavy or cakey anywhere. Even the spots on my nose where it was kind of clinging to the peeling skin from my sunburn have totally smoothed out. It hasn't oxidized or anything like that. It isn't separating or going patchy or anything like that. So far I don't really have any complaints about this foundation. So 5 hours in, this foundation is still looking really good. I'll check in with you guys in another probably 4 hours and let you know if it is still holding up and looking good. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. It is now 6:30, so this foundation has been on for 9 hours, and I am super impressed. Like, my lipstick is all faded, but actually, this lipstick is by ColourPop. It's their Ultra Matte Lippies, and like, it stayed on pretty good all day long. It's not like smudge proof or transfer proof, but it's like a really long lasting lipstick. I had no idea. I'd never worn it all day before, and it's super, super cheap. But anyway, that's a side note. The foundation, I'm super impressed with this foundation. Like, it's kept me looking pretty matte. Like, I'm a little bit shiny on the sides of my nose, my chin, a tiny bit on my forehead, but for the most part, this really, really controlled my oil. But it also like is really smooth. It doesn't look cakey or thick or heavy anywhere. It did settle into some of my fine lines, but I am really impressed with this foundation. I really, really like this one a lot. I think that for my summer shade, I could go like a shade or even maybe 2 shades darker. This one matches my neck perfectly, but my chest and my shoulders are a little bit more tan now, so I kind of felt like I looked a little pale in my face all day, but I think it'll be a really good shade for me in like fall and spring and maybe in winter too, depending on how early in the winter it is or how late in the winter it is. Yeah, this foundation gets 2 thumbs up for me. I am so impressed. It said it lasted 12 hours. I only wore it for 9 hours, but it still pretty much looks the same as it did when I put it on this morning. Super impressed. So I pretty much love this foundation. I'm going to wear it again, and I might buy it in another shade or 2, just so that I can have my perfect shade all year long with this one. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I love you all so much, and as always, I hope you have a fantastic day.